Well, hello. It has been maybe too long. We are back. We're out the Ballpark Podcast, episode number 123 again. I hope you're doing well tonight. Long day at work. So, how are you doing, Darren? How was work today?
Work was actually not too bad. It was another long day. A lot going on at the house with the holidays coming up. Who's coming? Who's going? We had licensing in from the state, so just a lot going on. But you know what? It's weekend eve, and I'm here with you. And I love these podcast live shows, and it's just great.
Yes. Yep. It's I when we don't get to do them for a vacation or a trip or something. It's whatever we're doing is fun too, but nothing like the routine of I'm a routine guy.
Oh, as you know, so am I.
Throwing that off is never the best, but it is what it is sometimes. But we were able to still make some traction on some new subscribers, over 40 something new subscribers since we met last 10 days ago. So
Love that.
I really think by the end of this year or sooner, we'll hit that 3,500 number. We're less than 50 away. So That is super cool. That's halfway to 4,000 for those that are math aficionados.
Yes.
But before we have fun and catch up on our week and talk about this Home Alone and the things that don't make sense, we got to share a little bit about Nashville Tax Solutions. I was able to spend the last 2 hours with him. Actually, he just left
I love that.
a few minutes ago, so I'll kind of tag into that in just a minute. But let's
does he just carry around a boarding pass like all day?
Yes. He's got a bunch of different disguises and
I love that.
All that stuff. Yep.
But hey, if you're dealing with tax issues, maybe you're behind on some filings or you got hit with a lien, let me tell you about Nashville Tax Solutions. And I love this guy. He's the best. There he is. He's wearing, he's got the Nashville Tax Solutions swag. And you can't be wrong when you're talking about this man. He's a high profile bear. In the old days it used to be Yogi. Now it's all about Pennington. Just the best.
Yes.
These folks know their stuff and they actually care about helping you fix it. I've heard from people right here in Palm Bay, Fort Pierce, and they said that Chris Bennett and his team turned a financial nightmare into peace of mind. That's the kind of help you want on your side. So, it's the holidays, right, Mike? I mean, and if tax stress is keeping you up, now's the time to call 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com. Nashville Tax Solutions, real people, real relief.
Thank you, Darren. And we see Kim here in the chat. And Kim,
Hey, Kim.
I'm not even sure if you know this. You might, but was gonna touch on it anyway. But for the 17th annual Family Christmas Extravaganza, which I did see the video, by the way, it was awesome. There were a couple different videos from earlier today, Kim. I'm excited to have you on board with us. Look great. So I'm excited for that to be put out there into the universe. But Darren, just for the record, Darren's flight has been booked. He is going to be here for the extravaganza on Friday, December the 19th, all the way till Monday, the following Monday. So not only will be there for part of the day before, but the event itself, and then even at church on that Sunday. So super, super excited to have some quality time, not just at the extravaganza, but just local here as well. So, and we'll see what kind of weather we'll have for you, Darren. It's usually around 72 is around the Christmas weather here. So, and we see Joe with us as well. So thanks for jumping on. You'll get to meet Darren, and it's going to be an awesome time. I think your flight comes in around the noon time on Friday, something like that.
I cannot wait. And just to put things in perspective, you're talking about 70 degrees. So this morning, I woke up, which is a blessing. Thank you, God. So I woke up 28 degrees, just saying, too cold.
28 degrees. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is something. We had a 42 degree. We had in the high 30s. It was
there you go.
That's a week ago. It was pretty cool. But yeah, Kim, we're going to be the Around the Ballpark podcast does have a booth this year at the extravaganza. We're going to be doing a dunk tank. So not just Darren, but a few other familiar faces. And I can confirm that since our last meeting, Darren, that one of Palm Bay's finest, Palm Bay police officer, will also be participating on the dunk tank. So that's super exciting. So I'll share who that individual is at a later date, but he's very excited to be doing that with us. So, but yeah, you'll get a chance. All you got to do, come find our booth at the event and scan the barcode, show us that you subscribed. And then as soon as you see that, you can go ahead and get a throw. And if you subscribe prior to, like if you show us that you're already subscribed before we ask you to do so, we'll get you an extra throw in there as well. So, but Darren will be up there with a few others and talking some PG-13 smack. So
yes,
sure, you don't take it too offensively. It's all fun.
We're chirping. Well, we will chirp. No, that's all.
Yep. And yes, Kim, we are needing about 2 to 3 more dunkers because we don't want the same 3 or 4 people to have to suffer. Go through the dunking for the entire time. So we are taking. There's not a button on our extravaganza page for that, but we're needing about 2 to 3 to 4 more dunkers to rotate in the dunk tank. So if you know people, yes, definitely nominate, but they would have to willingly come. We can't toss them in there. Unfortunately, Rob Medina is not an option as he's kind of busy that day. So I'm just throwing that out there. And we're also going to be in the Palm Bay Parade this year. We're going to be partnering with Nashville Tax Solutions as always. We just got done testing out our vehicle. We have a 9-song loop of nothing but baseball songs that are going to play. So Darren, I got to ask you, let's see if we can get this. And we're going to talk about Home Alone. Don't worry if you came in for that. But if you had to guess, now these are like upbeat stuff, not stuff that we are, nothing slow. What songs would you consider to think that would be on my 9-song loop that we go through the parade with?
And you said they're all about baseball?
Yes, they're tied into baseball, or they can be like something you would hear at the stadium kind of thing. Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's so interesting too, because Marion just got on, and I remember like it was yesterday, she loved this song that I'm going to start out with, and it might surprise you, but seriously, she did. She loved this song. We Are Family with the Pittsburgh Pirates, 1979 World Series champions. She loved that song. And she may remember.
So that's an awesome pick, and I considered that one. So the extravaganza is going to be in front of us in the parade, and they're already using that one.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, and I hope, Marion, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, because it was wonderful. And like we're driving and we're both actually singing this song, and she goes, I used to think this said "We Are Sarah Lee."
Yes, that's what Mom says all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of sad when you find out the real lyrics of a song, though. It's a little bit defeating. You're like, oh man, I've been singing it that way for so long.
100%.
But yeah, we've got a little, of course, Take Me Out to the Ball Game, some John Fogerty center field.
Center field, absolutely.
Yeah, we've got the Jimmy Trumpets will be performing his best. We got OMG is going to be playing in there as well.
Nice.
Glory Days, of course.
Yes.
Wild Thing, amongst others. But yeah, we'll be looping that around throughout the parade. I think it's a 2.5 mile, 3 mile long parade. So, but the amount of people there are makes it feel a lot longer than that.
Yes.
So a lot of exciting stuff. So continue to keep eyes on the Around the Ballpark podcast. The flyers have been ordered. 5,000 will be available to be distributed at the event. We do need, and if you're watching this, guys, we love extravaganza, but we also need a few other helpers to walk with us in the parade for Around the Ballpark and Nashville Tax Solutions. Eileen will be in the truck on the mic doing her thing, but we need a few other helpers. So if you know anyone that's not already committed to extravaganza, please drop it in the comments. If you're local here, we could love to have you walk with us in the parade. So Darren, before we get into Home Alone stuff, just want to check any highlights from your week.
Yeah, actually, there's a couple. So I just find it very, very interesting that, people are great, love God, and I love social media, right? We're both on it, and this is what we do. But there are so many people out there who they love no. Like, let me explain. So what I thought one of the coolest things that ever happened in college sports happened this week. I don't know if you saw this. I forget who West Virginia was playing, but they were playing the 16th ranked team in the nation. And West Virginia is like a mid-major, like you have Central Florida, like that kind. Great, but long story short, there was a fight right before halftime, and everybody but 5 players got tossed out from West Virginia. Seriously, so they had no subs. This actually happened last week, and they played in a hotel in like a small wedding hall kind of room, and I call it like a dusty old gym. Now remember that, okay? Because there was something very cool about it. Well, long story short, they beat the number 16 ranked team in the nation
with the
Those
5.
That
instantly
athletes.
reminds me of Hoosiers.
Yes, 100%.
Just from that number, because that's what they had pretty much, right? So
yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, long story short, it was one of my most popular postings in a long, long time. And I said it with no hubris, but here's the fun part. So I mentioned, it's a dusty old gym, just exactly that. It was a small gym. It wasn't an arena. That's not dusty and old. Don't say that. That's not. Stop. It's just turning a phrase. It's just turning a phrase, people. If this is the worst thing in your life, God bless you. You are blessed. And then the second thing that I thought was great this week was Bernie Kosar getting the liver transplant that he desperately needed. And I just thought that was amazing. And that was just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until yesterday, actually. I'm not sure if that happened.
It happened yesterday.
Yesterday,
What happened was he put out a desperate plea. And unfortunately, a young kid had an accident. And the family said, we want to give his liver to Bernie. And it was a match.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yep.
How about you? Tell me about your week. Love, exciting, and new.
So I went on the it's basically it was the Bahama Paradise at Sea cruise, and it went out from West Palm Beach on Friday, and we got back Monday morning. And so first and foremost, the positives on this cruise. Number one, it's a cruise, so like right there, you're starting off good. But the entertainment and the shows were top notch. Like obviously, they don't have 3-4 different theaters like most big ships do, where you can see a ice skating show if you want, or you can go to this or that. They basically have one big theater, so every show every night is in that same theater. But this cast was phenomenal.
Oh, that's great.
The same lady hosting bingo was doing the sail away party, who was doing the game show, who was doing flips in the show. They worked so hard, but it was really, really good. Attention to detail, all that stuff. So we absolutely loved the shows. What do you call it? There was just enough things on the ship to do where you didn't feel like you're missing 15 things. Like there was, it was very relaxing. Less than, I think normally the ship has 2,000 people. I think this one had less than 1,000 on the whole ship. So it's very quiet. We didn't have a ton of people, that sort of thing. So it was very relaxing. The housekeeping was always as good. We always joke here that you can just go out down the hallway for a second and they'll sneak in your room and create a towel made of a bear and a towel and all that stuff. The two negatives that I definitely got to point out, we're going to probably do a video recap on it, but the food was really bad. We loved the food in the past. Like the room and the food was always great. I don't know who they got doing the food this time, but no chicken, no steak, no pasta. Like a lot.
So what did you have?
They have, I had one night I had lunch. Now they have five options every night. So it wasn't like they had one dish, but you had to pay extra for, which is common now for like a nice steak, but usually you can still get a lesser steak for free. But so I had lentils one day. I had eggplant another day. Now, when I tell you I had eggplant, I'm not trying to be funny. I know usually I
Right.
I had eggplant, and on top of the eggplant, I'll have to text you the picture. There were like these little mini puddles of, I didn't know what they were. It almost looked like something that Bob Ross would use for a painting, but they were Easter colors. So it was a puddle of light blue, pastel pink, and pastel purple on my eggplant. And So Eileen looks at it and like, is this an Easter product? Like, did a toddler take this? And I like cream cheese and I like eggplant and I like sauce, but they don't go together. And
No.
that was the common thread of everything. Like, instead of mango and infused rice, it was rice with a mango on top of it. Like, it was just, they just kept missing they don't know how to mix the things together.
Right.
It was very awkward. I was trying to like it, but not so much. And the other night I forgot what it was, but it was weird. It was something weird. It was some sort of barbecue thing, but it wasn't that good. I don't know. It was, so yeah, the buffets were okay. The burgers were on point, like they always are. But even the buffets looked like I was at Golden Corral and not on a cruise. So,
So now here's a serious question, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Does it affect your gratuity? Like, do you let them know or are you one of these people that say, wait a minute, the service was wonderful. The person, I don't want to penalize the person when the food's that foul,
Right. So how this cruise line works is you get charged automatically fuel charge and gratuity right off the bat. So it's $105 per person for fuel and gratuity. So we didn't have to do any tipping or anything like that, unless it's like above and beyond, of course.
Right.
That was already included. But if you get any kind of anything that's extra that's not included, then you have to, there's a gratuity on that. Unless you get like a special deluxe dining package, beverage package, then you don't have to pay extra gratuity, but you pay gratuity to get on, and then per drink or per extra meal or whatever. So it can add up pretty quickly if you're not careful with that stuff. So they kind of get you at that ahead of time, but at least they tell you what it is going in, so the rates are really low, but they make up for it on the gratuity and the fuel and the taxes and all that good stuff.
So did you have a port of call, or you just?
So it was Freeport, but this is the first cruise I've ever been on where I didn't get off the ship, because Freeport is like going to the flea market. It's just
100%.
There was nothing like we could have done excursions for an insane amount of money and that stuff before. So this trip was really about. I always said each cruise I go on, I want to pick one place I haven't been to, but we just really wanted to get away for a short time. So
I love that.
We just picked one. So we stayed on the ship. It was great. That was the only other negative is, the pool. They had this amazing, like, so much room. They could have put 2 ginormous pools, 4 big pools, but they put 2 pools in, and they were like the size of my mouse pad that I have right here. And so, but they're not only were they the size of my mouse pad, but they were so, you had to like crawl down this ladder. So you're like in a dungeon in the ocean. So when you're in the pool, you should want to be able to look to your left and right and see the ocean, right? Because
of course,
when you look up, you're just looking at people's feet dangling above you because it's just so far down. And people are just sitting all over the deck where the pool should be, but the pool is so small, people are just sitting everywhere. So I know it's an older ship, but can we please upgrade the pool, make it a little bit bigger? That was awkward for sure. If I can show you a picture, let me see if I can. It won't do it justice though. Let me see if I can see this. But
I can't wait to see a video that you and Eileen do. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Let me see real quick if I can't find it. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna I have a little thing here. I'm gonna show this, but again, it's gonna look, actually it looks a lot. Actually, that's not the right one. Let me see. Find one better. Yeah, here we go. Save. Okay, because this is important stuff here, folks.
Yes.
I gotta show this. Okay, so here we go. Media and okay. So again, this is gonna look better than it was, but
no, that's a hole.
So it's a hole because you see, on the right hand side, you see the stairs there. So if you climb down that's the top. You climb down there, you really feel like you're in. And this is the picture you're looking at is actually their newer ship. So picture more deck space, less tropical colors, and more deck space. Like, so it was massive, and the hot tubs, they had 2. But you couldn't fit more than like 4 people in them. And one of them was like 850 degrees. So I don't know. They failed on a lot of things, and we've been on that cruise a few times before and absolutely loved it. But for whatever reason, this time around, yes, lobster was $18.99 extra, but that's even on Royal Caribbean now. It used to be you can get that as an entree. And negative number 3, and I know it's 9:20. We haven't even gotten to Home Alone, but that's okay. The bread. I love me some bread on a cruise, especially it takes a long time to get your food. This has never happened before, but they come to the table with their bread basket with a little tongs or whatever. They give you one piece of bread and one butter, and then they go away. Like,
what is that?
So it's always been you get the bread basket, at the table. So you get one piece of bread. You can't get more than one entree. Most cruise ships, you can get as many as you want. You can get 2 appetizers, but they won't give you 2 entrees, which wasn't a big loss because the entrees were not that good. Again, they didn't go stuff just didn't go together. But yeah, that was the thing. And that was the thing too. The appetizers were on point. Like one of the days I got that ridiculous eggplant with Easter egg colors on them. The appetizer, okay, like if you're gonna have eggplant, the appetizer I think that day was jambalaya. Like that doesn't.
Right. Oh, I love jambalaya.
It was just weird. Let me just put it that way. So, but all in all, I still always would rather be on a ship than anywhere else. So maybe except for a ball game. So it was a great time. But yeah, guys, let's get into this evening's topic, talking about the, let me see here. Okay. So let's get into the Home Alone movie where, again, for me, this is the first movie. I actually watched it yesterday. First movie every Christmas season for me that I have to put on. Everybody's got their choice. But for me, it's always this movie, and even our friend Paddington thinks so as well. Here, he is happy.
He looks concerned.
Yeah, he looks concerned, but he's happy to be here with us. He's missed us these 10 days.
Yes, I missed him too.
But is what it is. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about the greatness that is Home Alone, but the top 10 things and that really weren't solved. But you can kind of make a case for why some of them were not solved. But we're gonna have some fun kind of going over those individual things. So number 1, Darren, watching the movie, of course, when Kevin's mom, realizes that he is where he is at home and not with them in Paris, France, decides that she's going to call everyone in the phone book, everyone else except for Kevin himself. Never once tries to call home.
Why call home?
Now, I know they did lose like that morning when they left, like the power was out or whatever, but I'm sure it had to been restored. So your thoughts on that? Because that's the glaring one for me is like, why not just call home? But again, then that wouldn't have been a movie. Hey, Mom, I'm good. See you later. Like
that's right.
So,
or here's one. Let's call the police. And could you please come over? I think my kid is back at the house. The end. Roll credits. We're out the house. No, but of course you should call the house. Here's a kid who knew how to book flights in Home Alone 2, and that one, hotel, this and that. He's ordering pizza. He's booby trapping the world. He knows how to pick up a phone. Call home. Horrible.
Yeah. So we have that's a great, I'm glad that, so he couldn't join us on here, or in the chat, but Kevin, who has joined our show many times, said that the phone lines were going to be down for 3 to 4 days. So I'm going to get to that a little later. So that is true. They did say that the phone lines were going to be down for 3 to 4 days. So I'm glad that you did bring that up, which actually leads me to my second one, though, is that, or actually, let me see if I even have this one in here. No. There was a time later, though, in the show when he orders pizza and the phone is working just fine. So that's another plot hole in the movie as well. So maybe they just got it back early, I guess. Could be.
That was a pizza phone. It's a special phone.
Yes, that works. Yep. So moving along, the one of the best parts of the movie, of course, is all the injuries and all the different things that
Shenanigans.
happen to these
Yes.
two criminals. But they are impervious to pain. And Kevin, if you would get this reference, they're like the Mankind action figure that we had when we were in our younger years, that you could do nothing to injure this thing. They walked away scot-free. Their iron marks on their forehead and different things like that just went away when they went on to the next scene. I always thought that was funny. So your thoughts on that whole thing, and do you have a top scene of that movie where they got injured? Like, is there one that stands out above the other ones?
Well, you mentioned the hot iron on the head. That was wonderful. Let me digress for half a second. I knew going in that those were the Wet Bandits are cartoon characters, so like it reminded me of Bugs Bunny cartoons, becoming like the accordion and they're walking away, or the way Daffy Duck's Bill used to flip around when he got shot, but it was just a little over the top and a little unbelievable. Like, why is all that stuff in the house to begin with?
It's a booby trap house with
yes.
And Burger Man 313 mentions he loves a hot door, the door handle.
That's what I was going to say. Good job, Good job, Burger Man.
There's that one, and then of course Marv, and this being a sports podcast, like I love. Well, he wasn't Marv, but in Rookie of the Year, Marv was one of the Cubs coaches, and he gets himself locked in the cage and stuck in between the doors of the hotel rooms. But he gets the nail in his foot. And he executed that so well. And every time, that's one of those, it's coming, and he still gets
I'm going to throw this out to you. You probably know the answer. No cheating, folks, and the people who are watching right now. Marv, Daniel Stern, was an integral part of a very famous show from the 80s. Very famous. One of the Wet Bandits, who was not named Joe Pesci.
Drop it in. I don't want to cheat, so I don't know the answer. So throw it in the chat if you know that one.
I'll give you a hint. You watched the show in the 80s and loved the show.
In the 80s. Okay.
Yeah. Nobody knows.
Somebody will know. Let us know. We'll continue on, but if we see it, we'll stop the presses and we'll go to it. So getting into, we talked about the cops, but why Kevin doesn't call the cops again. That's kind of covered in the whole, they said they weren't going to have phone for 3 or 4 days, but they had the special pizza phone. So that kind of covers that one. So we'll move on from there. But so when the family is calling around, they're trying to get somebody to help. It felt like 4 seconds and none of them had any luck. Well, that's not a lot of time to call everyone you've ever known. So, but they went through the whole phone book. Money is no option to these people. I mean, they flew like 18 people out to Paris on the dad's time. And I've seen people think and joke online that they was part of the mafia because he just got this money. But 18 people flown across the world to Paris, and then go ahead and rebook a flight so we can get back home for all 18 people, not just mom or dad. We're gonna send everybody back to where they're Chicago, right? I think it was, and then go back to Paris again. So money is no option or no worry here. They're loaded. Of course, they had the pizza order of what, $200 and something.
You know what the dad did for a living, right?
No.
Yes, you do. Listen, and whoever thought about the mob was right. He was the cop on the take for Tony Soprano, who told him that one of his guys.
That's him. Oh wow, that's okay. That's why.
Why not, Tony? Why do you mean to me?
That's great. Oh man, that's so true.
That is him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never went out. I had no friends.
But yeah, no. So the fact that literally no one knew, they knew was around. Everyone in the entire block went away and was not home, and so he was just stuck there. And let's go to the old man Marley. So
I just love the way you said that.
What'd you say?
Old man Marley.
Oh, old man Marley.
Yes.
Yeah, old man Marley. So he not creepy. No. So in the beginning, the first time we see him, he's like, "I'm not afraid anymore," and then he runs into Old Man Marley with the shovel, and at no point, he turns out to be a friendly guy, and all, but at no point did he try to correct the situation. He thought awkwardly staring with a creepy shovel was the way to go, and Kevin ran back in the house. Still had ample time to say, "Hey, I'm here. I'm good. I'm whatever." No, he lets Kevin run in the house, hide in the blanket, all that good stuff. But then at the end of the movie, after the wet bandits get arrested, Darren decides, I'm just going to leave him home alone again, and I'm going to go home.
Listen, I'm at an age, and not as old as old man over there, but close. Listen, when you got to take your meds, you got to get home.
Doesn't matter what, right?
You got, yeah. Listen, Jeopardy's on, Wheel of Fortune. I got to, that's stuff I got to do. Got to get my chair. Yeah. Old Man Marley, the best.
The best.
Yeah. But, what's he going to do with that shovel, by the way? I mean, these are guys that their hair goes on fire. They fall on ice. Anvils are falling on their head. Irons are falling on their head. It doesn't matter. I got a shovel.
Yep, doesn't matter. I'm good.
I'm good.
Now, you mentioned the cops earlier. I want to dive into this one next. So there's the scene, Darren. I'll let you kind of take this one after that. But there's a scene where they finally get an officer on the phone. They go back and forth, and I'll transfer you. They finally get someone to agree to go to the house, and top-notch police work. He rings the bell, knocks a few times, and says, "Okay, I'm here. Nobody's home," and that's all. And just leaves. No, it was the most. Okay, we tried. That's it. Yeah. So they literally did nothing here to help to prevent the situation. Again, we know there wouldn't be a movie if they did, but your thoughts on that?
Listen, we all know policemen very intimately, don't we? They were not the best. I mean, like the Three Stooges, the Keystone Cops laugh at these guys. Hey, all right, gotta go. Listen, they're like mall cops. They were not very good. And that would never happen because we all know those big houses got security, cameras. Even back then, I mean, stop. No, but they gave a half-hearted attempt.
Yes, that they had to somewhere else. They had to be apparently. And even in Home Alone 2, they really did the bare minimum as well. They really didn't help her out with that one. And I agree. I'm just gonna say this here, but in the movie, parts 1 and 2 were good, but then after that, the other ones do not count. 3, 4, 5, 6, all that good stuff.
Horrible. I didn't even know there was more than 3. There's 6, like whatever. Oh, horrible. No way.
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's like Major League to me ends after Major League 2. I don't even go back to the minors.
Oh, hold on one second.
You do you. Hey, everybody. I'm going to use my DJ voice. Well, Mike's talking to his pal, his friend, his chum. What's going on? No, to me, Major League 1, Major League 2, that's it. Caddyshack stands alone. Caddyshack 2 was horrible. Don't ever watch Caddyshack 2. The next time you laugh will be the first time. It was terrible. First one had Rodney Dangerfield in it. The second one had I forget who's in it, but it was not Rodney Dangerfield. And it didn't have Bill Murray. It had Dan Aykroyd. Not as good. Back to you, Mike.
Okay. I am back. Sorry, I had to step away for a second. But repeat all that in that exact order, please. No.
Would never happen.
No. So the next thing I want to cover, there is the scene that another message that I have to get to. I'm going to take the topic and then I'll have you respond to this one. But so there's a scene where the orders a pizza, and of course he plays the whole film with the gunfire and all that good stuff. And the pizza guy falls down, all that kind of stuff, runs away. No point did he think I was just shot at.
Right.
I'm just gonna go home and not appear again, never call the police, do nothing like that. So if you want to take that one, I'm gonna respond to this thing real
You
quick?
know something I never seriously, I'm being very honest. I've never thought of that. That is so true. And it's disturbing that I never even realized that. It was terrible. How do you not call you're not calling the cops? You're not saying, hey, I got shot at. Disturbance at this house. But no, in this world, we can leave the kid home with a whole bunch of stuff to just have shenanigans and leave them with money. And there's gunfire at the house, but nobody cares.
Nope.
Feels free.
Nobody
I'm
cares.
not going to tell anybody that, oh, by the way, I got shot at this house.
Right. Gotcha.
Do it myself.
He had all the time in the world to set this video up to the right moment.
Mhm.
He's like, oh, I'm going to watch this movie. I'm going to use this when I order pizza. It's going to be
Yep.
great. Like,
And how thin is that door?
right? Yeah. It's-
How do you
Yep.
hear that?
Yep. Now, one of my favorite things too is the house itself. So and we kind of touched on this, but literally gets just absolutely demolished and destroyed after all the with the bandits and everything like that. And then it's a late night, and then the next day the entire family comes back, and the house is completely spotless, with no care in the world. Everything's perfectly fine. Everything's been repaired. He stayed up all night apparently to, just completely make this house spotless. And of course, I think it was the tarantula that got loose, and then there's some other stuff with his brother, because I think his older brother was in one of the most recent Home Alone remakes. I think he was the only one from the original cast in there. But
That tells you something right there.
yeah, Bud. I think it was Bud. Yeah. So those were the top 10. And before I ask you for some other thoughts, we're not diving into Home Alone 2, but this is one of those rare franchises where it's maybe not 50-50, but it is 40-60. Are you a 1 is better than 2 or a 2 is better than 1?
No, actually, that's a very good question. I am 1 is better than 2, but people argue that. Here's my one question, though, with what you just brought up about cleaning the house. That was a Jackie Mason, who I met one time, by the way. And Kevin, you saw the movie then. It was not that good, right? I mean, Dan Aykroyd, you can tell, just got a paycheck. He just waltzed through that movie. And I like Jackie Mason. Anyway, back to about cleaning up the house. I got 7 words for you. Where did he put all the trash?
Well, maybe in the basement in that furnace thing. Maybe he just threw it all.
Man, well, maybe.
He wasn't scared anymore.
Now, what did you like? Did you like 1 better or 2 better?
I asked Eileen this today, and she was like, "Oh, definitely 1." Having gone back and watching both of them, they're both so good. I mean, it doesn't matter which one I say, but I think I still like 1 better. But 2 has some better moments like sprinkled in. Like there's a lot of stuff about 2 that I really did like.
Yeah, my son, I believe, likes 2 better than 1.
Yeah, but so it's very close, very close.
Did you pick Home Alone 2 over Home Alone 1? Yeah. So you just said yeah.
Yeah. Now we know that nobody would say 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. It stopped at 2. Because I mean, how many times?
I don't know what he's saying, but his opinion's wrong.
No, he just he says something. He's entitled to be wrong, right? He just said that he likes 2, then 3, and then 1. No way.
No.
No way. What?
No way.
I'm not involved.
I mean, I think if we asked 100 people,
No, we're just talking about Home Alone.
Dare I say that 2 is the top 5 Christmas movie of all time?
Well, yeah, that's true. He said 2, though, is the top 5 Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah. No,
And
I
one is
actually would put
difference.
both in there. I don't know if I put them 1, 2, or 2, 5, or 3, but I would actually put both in there just because they're both, they don't age. I mean, they're just as good now as they were then. And to me,
But
like,
hold on a second. Here's my question. In Home Alone 3, is that new kid supposed to be playing Kevin, or is it a different kid totally?
It's supposed to be Kevin.
It's supposed to be Kevin then in 3?
I think so.
I think it's different. I believe. I know there's 6 of them, and
There's
now
6
one in-
Home Alones.
the one in 2021, it was called Home Sweet Home Alone. That one actually
I
was
think
pretty funny. I
disappointment
mean, it's
is an
corny and all as get out, but 6 was better than 4 and 5 for sure. But nobody knows if it was a 4 or a
And then
5.
if I can say one thing off the record, not to do with Home Alone, we do not recognize Christmas Story 2 or Christmas Story Christmas.
I do recognize Christmas Story Christmas that it was made because it had the same people in it. But I do not recognize Christmas Story 2 at all. It does not exist. I totally agree. Go ahead.
So we have a question in the chat. So Darren, I will let you. We'll go back and
Yeah, let's go back and forth. Let's start at number 5. Go.
So, what are your top 5 Christmas movies? And we've got 5 minutes left before we shut this thing down, so we have enough time to get to this one. So, top 5 Christmas movies, Darren, and go.
Okay, so it might be kind of surprising. To me, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a Thanksgiving movie, right? It's not a Christmas movie, but hear me out. But for me, I watch it and it becomes the shift into the Christmas season. So it's sort of like a bridge movie. But my top 5 of these, Home Alone 1 is number 5. Number 4 is It's a Wonderful Life. All right, it's my 4th. Okay, now the other ones might surprise you, and you're going to say that's not a movie, but too bad. So sad. It's my list. Number 3 is Frosty the Snowman with Jimmy Durante, because I was just a big Jimmy Durante fan. I mean, loved him. Number 2 is an absolute must for me, and that is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Bulls Bounce, Burl Ives. Come on, we still sing those songs. And number 1 was, if I can get kind of serious for a second, number 1 is Charlie Brown's Christmas. And because he brought the real meaning to Christmas to everybody. Did you notice when Linus starts to tell everybody the real story of Christmas, he dropped his blanket. He wasn't afraid because he was talking about, Jesus being born in the manger.
So that's been pointed out, and I did not the first 26 times I saw the movie. Yeah, recently, yes. And it's sad that they used to all be on every year. Like now, you really got to get creative and Google searches to find some of them. The Charlie Brown Christmas and the Rudolph and the Frosty and all that good stuff. But yeah, Kim, I didn't know that till pretty recently. So that's a great point. And that's awesome that you had the top 5 like right on off the cusp like that. Not easy to do. I don't know if I could say 5 in like a 1 through 5 order, but I can give my top 5. I just don't on the cuff. I can't rank them. So I will say that I will go with Home Alone in the top 5 for sure. I will probably, thinking about it, Home Alone 2 would probably be just outside that, because although they are different movies, they are, Kevin, I see your comments there. They are pretty much the same thing, just different location, and his comments are pretty accurate with that. But I wouldn't put 1 and 2 both in there. So I would put Home Alone in the top 5. I would put Elf in the top 5 as well. And even though I'm not a big Will Ferrell guy, would definitely put Elf in there. I think National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation would have to be in there as well. I would say can't go wrong, of course, with It's a Wonderful Life, even though I don't like it's super, that as much. I think it's one of those that is much needed to be in there. And then I have to go with the Grinch. Anything Grinch, I think is a staple for sure. So those would be my 5. I know there's been a lot of different ones. There were a few other honorable mentions. Christmas with the Cranks, I actually really enjoyed that one. I wouldn't.
And I absolutely love Christmas Story. I do love the original Christmas Story.
Yes.
I'm gonna shoot your eye, kid.
Were you a big Polar Express? Because
I love the Polar Express.
Yeah, I feel like that doesn't get enough as well. But yeah,
When Christmas Comes to Town is a beautiful, beautiful song.
Yeah, definitely nothing on the Hallmark Channel in 2025 though.
No. Let's meet at the tree farm. We got the big shindig, the big, hootenanny. Stop.
Yeah.
You know, Lacey Chabet from Party of Five in 9,000 Hallmark movies. Now, listen, I'm going to give you another trivia question. I know we have to go now, right? You probably know the answer to this, and I'm sure our guests do as well. In It's a Wonderful Life, who is in that who was once in Little Rascals?
Ooh. You hit us with the trivia. While I think about Polar Express terrifies me. I know what you mean though. Like I can't put my finger on it. But I know what you yeah. And Kim, so I kind of joke like I'm not saying I'm sitting home watching Hallmark Christmas movies, but when how do I put this? If you go on Netflix and you type in Christmas and you go down to page like 52, it gets weird. Like it gets like, you know.
Well, no, my wife tapes them and, you know, records them rather tapes, show my age again. Records them and we watch them all year round. She just loves it. You know?
And there's certain actresses and actors that I think their contract says they must do 6 of these per year or something because they're always in them. So there are some good ones, of course, but there are some really strange ones that probably don't need to be made. But you know, now some people like try to put on at least one movie a day all the way up until Christmas. Some get really into that kind of stuff. I can if I so Kevin for the win. So Kevin's list, I want to share that one. He says National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So we agreed on that. Night Before Christmas. I just watched that 2 days ago. Forgot to mention that one. Fred Claus, Four Christmases, and Animated Grinch. Yes, I think we all agree. Nothing beats the animated Grinch's face, and you all know the scene I'm talking about. That was classic. And they're excited we're going to have the Grinch for at the Christmas extravaganza as well.
Oh, that's going to be great. Who did what very famous early horror film star did the voice of the Grinch?
Ooh, another one I don't know. Man, I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments.
Oh, by the way, you want the answer to the original question I asked you?
Yes.
Or about the hit show from the 80s? All right. He was the narrator on the TV show The Wonder Years, Daniel Stern. Which was a great show. And by the way, Winnie from the Wonder Years went on to do what? A lot of Hallmark Christmas movies. See how that works? Like a big old circle.
And looks the same at age 50 or whatever it is.
Yes.
So yes, the animated Grinch from 2018. Correct. That is the correct year. So guys, I do have to run.
You gotta go.
We gotta do. But this was a blast. I'm sure we'll talk. It's the Christmas season. I'm sure we'll have a few more of these. Thank you so much, all 14 of you that are jumped on with us to have conversation. This was a blast. Glad to be back on here. We will be live this Sunday night, the 23rd, with Locked On Pirates from the Locked On Major League Baseball podcast series. So we'll talk some Pittsburgh Pirates and Major League Baseball stuff. And then we'll be back again, of course, a week from this Thursday. Thank you guys. Before I sign off, just want to again give a shout out to National Tax Solutions, Christopher Bennett and their team. Can't wait to see you both in the parade and the extravaganza. With that said, Darren, have a great rest of your night. And until next time, we'll see you around the ballpark.